Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of a DevBlog for YouWillRot, the zombie survival horror game that puts you in the game. If this is your first time here, this is me. I'm in the game, and I'd like to do the same for you. In this update, we'll talk about some of the things I've done, such as a bunch of changes to the UI. For example, a new weapon modification widget. I moved around the main inventory UI. I broke out the iron sights, so now they're their own attachments. The contractor, he's working on the crafting system improvements, and I'll talk about that as well. I'm really excited about those updates. Also, with that came an entire rewrite of the inventory and equipment system. So I basically threw everything out and rewrote it from scratch, which took quite a bit. It's not much that you'll notice, but it was sorely needed. And finally, the big one, and I'm really excited about this, is the procedural aim down sights. Meaning before, what I was doing is the animation was driving the aim down sight location, and it wasn't very accurate. It wasn't going to be pixel perfect accurate, but instead we're going to be using math to calculate the hand placement where the aim down sight location will then show up at the exact center of the camera. And that was a lot of fun because that involved a heck of a lot of math, and I'm a big old math nerd. I also worked on a modular plate carrier system. You can kind of see it in the background there. I'll go over that. First, let's take a look at the new inventory layout. So if I hit the inventory key, we still have the player inventory on the right here, but now the character's on the left and out of the way. That way, if I'm in the inventory screen, I'm going to have an unobstructed view in the middle, because one of my biggest complaints for a lot of these games, I've been playing a lot of Arena Breakout lately, for example, is that like the screen is taking up everything. You can't see anything. And if I'm checking my pockets, I don't go blind, right? So in real life, right? So why would you do that in the game? So yeah, you lose focus. I like this idea as far for the user experience. But yeah, I should be able to have a pretty good view. The vicinity is right here, and this area now becomes more of a multi-use, and I'll explain it in a moment. We're still using a left and right hand, so you can hold two items. And we still have the spatial inventory here. I don't know if you noticed in prior videos, but every time I'd move an item, there'd be a lag. That lag is gone with the complete rewrite of the inventory system. Dropping items would then be done on the sides here. So now we've dropped it back into the world. I can pick it up again. Now we've picked up quite a few items. I wanted to show the multi-use of this area. And the first being a new weapon modification system. So if I click here, now I get this modify button here. Both hands are being taken, right? So let's click this modify button, which then brings me to this new placement for our weapon modification. The name of the weapon is here, the type of ammo it takes, and I can come here and it's going to get a list of all of the items that are in the inventory. So let's go ahead and say the T4 optic. So we've now added the T4 optic. The sights are now their own. I've broken them out. They're their own attachments. Here we are. All of the items here are attached. I did this cool little feature with the iron sights. If there's an optic attached, they're gonna flip down, so that way they're out of the way. Here's our longer barrel. Here's the underbarrel that we added. There's a new grip that we added down here. Yeah, here's one of the lights here. So I really like the new layout here. I think it's way more professional. I got these new icons that I made using vector graphics. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It's looking more and more like a professional game. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with it. Let's talk about the new aim down sight feature. This is really, it took a lot of work. It was a lot of math for inverse kinetics. Going through the math of it all, it was a lot of fun. Getting to figure it out step by step, it took a lot. It really did. And so I'm trying to get you to appreciate just how much work it was, because it really was. But, it's fun work. And so let's go ahead and see it. If I click here, that dot, you can see it's going right to the exact center of the screen. But yeah, we can do that for any gun. Let's start. I guess let's go ahead and modify and do the ACOG optic, I guess. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, let's try the 7. Yeah. I mean this looks like, to me this is just so sweet because it really is. It makes the game feel like it's a AAA game. Right? As soon as I get that transition worked out, it feels like a AAA game. That means the sniper fire is going to be way more accurate because it's going to be dead on. Oh, if I could shoot. That's just so sweet. That's just so sweet. Look at that. And this is what it looks like third person, like as we could see, like it looks and feels natural because we're clamping down on the elbow rotation and clamping down on the wrist rotation. So the goal would be get the camera, which is here, with red facing forward. And the point is to get this point, which is the aim down sight optic, again, red painting forward, which is just sitting right behind the exact center here of the optic. To get this guy, move him sort of like right about here in world space. So what does that mean exactly? You have to figure out how to get here to a certain location in the world, so that way this is right here. As you can guess, it's it's a lot of math. So step 1, step 2, step 3. And also making sure it's rotated correctly once it's in the hand and synced between the client and the server. It's a lot. As you can see, it's a lot of trial and error, 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 a lot of trial and error. Eventually then, the math starts coming together and we start getting closer. So next I'd like to talk about the crafting system. So what I can do here is I can add and grip the stick here, the twig, just like in real life. In order to craft something, it has to be in your hands. So we have here 4 twigs. I can hit this crafting button now, which becomes active because it has a recipe, and I can cancel, or I can come in here and now select in this multi-purpose area. I'm gonna now craft the campfire kit. So yeah, go ahead. So now we have the campfire kit. In the future, there'll be like an animation to play, and then over some time, and then the craft will happen, and it can be canceled during the crafting. That's still being worked on. It only needed 3 sticks, 1, 2, 3, for an A-frame, so it returned 1 of the 4 twigs to back to my backpack, so I didn't lose anything. Yeah, so I can come here, I can come here, I've hit craft. I can now craft a torch. Not a very good torch. I have to rotate it. No wonder. Yeah, it looks like I have to rotate the torch. That broke somehow. Yeah, it's coming along well. To be honest, visually speaking, I mean, that's pretty much it. Most of the work that I've been doing has been on the back end. Fix the bugs. It doesn't sound like moving items between, around an inventory is all that sexy. But for a survival game, this is the core. This is really, if this isn't working, then it's, you don't have a game. But spending some time, a couple weeks to go and just pull out all the wires and revamp everything, it's just it was very important, and I had to do it sooner than later. I did change one more thing, and that is on fresh spawn, where the player will spawn during the game will be in a house. And the idea is to have thousands of houses. And by spawning inside of a house, it gives a new player a friend. By starting in a house, it gives a player a at least, a chance to not be a Bambi. Like, for example, in other games like DayZ, you could spawn kill, and be a jerk like that. But here, inside of a house, you're hidden, um, uh, somewhat. You can still see through the windows, but you're hidden. If someone's driving by or walking by, they may not notice you in the house. There's already going to be there's going to be spawn items in the house already for you to get started. So you might be able to go downstairs and find some food, or it's an American house, so there might be a weapon, a gun in the house. Like you'll already have some sort of a starting point. Also, it sort of also kind of fits in the world where, like, maybe like the character was actually hiding in the house for the zombies for the weeks of the first couple weeks, is running out of food and it has to go out and scavenge, which would be realistic in a real, sort of, when there's a terrible event that's happened, and you don't have the normal infrastructure. Within about a week or two, you're going to have to start scavenging, and so it sort of fits within the world. And I really like that decision. I really do. It's sol a because really it solves the problem of killing fresh spawns, killing the Bambis, and what does what's a realistic way of starting a game, or a new game? Uh, what's the realistic way of starting a new fresh player after they've died? And I think it fixes a lot of the problems that you see in this space. And in the future, houses could be your base, just like your car could be your base. I've already built in plans for being able to board up the doors, board up the windows. Um, I believe base rating has a huge issue in games like this. I mean, if I go on vacation, someone can come in and wipe out everything I've worked on for a month, with one base raid after a half hour of hacking in. I really don't like that. I want there to be things like booby traps I could set up in the house that would affect other players. Dogs, for example, are what I think would be a big part of this, a la, uh, I Am Legend. And if you go into a house with a dog, that may be not a good idea. So, like, it may deter, just like in real life, you may be deterred from breaking into a house or a base with a dog, with two dogs, who may be overpowered inside of the house. And so I would like to see things like that, uh, as the game progresses in its development, because it I cannot tell you how many times, like, yeah, it's a holiday or you go on vacation and you come back to your game and everything's gone, and it just wasted so much time. And so I don't want to see that. I really want base rating to be very hard to do, not impossible, not at all impossible, but just very hard to do. Where it's going to be, give you a second thought if you really want to go and raid this person's base. It may be there, or may have booby traps, or may have dogs, who would be very, hard to kill. And would be able to easily kill or maim me. And so that would be the plan. Thank you very much for watching this dev blog. It was a little lighter on visuals just because of the nature of what was updated, but I really do think it's going to solve a lot of problems in the future and make it a more complete and higher quality game. The holidays are around the corner, so I don't know exactly what exactly I'm going to get done. But so far, everything's looking really, really good, and we're barreling towards a Kickstarter kickoff, I think, in February, which is just a few weeks away. So working hard towards that, and hopefully you guys are excited for this game as I am. It's looking more and more real. It's looking more and more like a professional game. It's feeling more and more like a professional game as I work on it. And I would really like more resources and do what I do, which is manage the project and run the team. Um, that's what I hope to get to. But for now, I'm just having fun doing trigonometry. I really want to impress how much fun it was doing the aim down sight stuff. It was tough, and it was a mental workout, and it was just a lot of fun. Okay, until next time, thank you very much.